So 2012, I would say I ruled myself out in a way. Like I only played, I think, 3.5 games that year. And each one, I think I probably played one good half out of all of that. And each time it was like, make a mistake, goal goes in, the fear of like, what does this mean? Maybe another goal goes in, the result, then thinking, well, I'm not going to get another chance. So just that kind of like constant, I suppose, fear. I was playing with fear. And so that was what I was worried about for 2016. And I managed to get a couple of sponsors that year, personal sponsors. And one of them was it was a chicken sponsorship. So instead of getting money, I went for food and like produce, because I was like, well, I need healthy food and that will reduce my shopping bill. And for a big organization like a couple of farms and stuff, it meant nothing really to them. They were, just happy to make a very small donation. So I used to go to the market every Saturday and I'd go see my chicken farmer and pick up some nice chicken. Sorry to all the vegans listening. So I'd go get the chicken, and one day the guy, Jeff, who I pick it up from, he was like, oh, how many days? And I said, how many days till what? And he said, how many days till the Olympics? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. And he's like, no, absolutely not. You need to already know that. You need to have your head there, that you're going to go. He knew a little bit about, my situation. Anyway, so he's like, righto, we're going to go for a coffee. So I ended up meeting him later that day. I went to my favorite cafe, which ironically was a vegan cafe. So met Jeff there, and turns out he's like a bit of a life coach. So he'd been, as well as being this, organic chicken farmer, he did this sort of stuff on the side. So sat down with me and essentially, I guess, taught me that like your brain can't really tell the difference. It can create these neural pathways just by things that you tell it, rather than, so I guess it's the info that you're feeding in. So we together worked on these positive affirmations. So I think I ended up with 7 or 8, and the language in them was like very particular. So he helped me sort of break down the things that I was good at, and in a language that wasn't false. Like it wasn't like I'm the best keeper in the world, because that's, I wouldn't have believed that. Wouldn't have mattered how many times I said it to myself. It was really specific. So it was like that the team looked to me for leadership, and I have a fierce desire to stop the ball going in the net, just stuff like that. So we worked on these together, and from that day onwards, every morning, as soon as I woke up, first thing I read. Every night before I lay down, it was the last thing I read. And over that sort of, whatever it was, 8 or so months in the lead up, I was basically training myself to believe in myself. And what it also did was it gave me, like, I guess, a reference point. So, of course, when I was training, there were still times where, the other goalie would make a save and everyone's like, yeah, good save. And then you're like, what's that mean for me? Or you'd see the goalie talking to the coach and then you get paranoid. And so it was always, I just had this, back to me. What am I doing? Back to me, back to me. And that helped swap sort of like more a positive language that I was telling myself, rather than the negative, more fearful, maybe paranoid language that I was doing naturally. So yeah, and it's changed my life. Like, I guess being able to have that clarity around who I am, the things that I'm good at, just really allowed me to, step out on the field and just be, like I said, that calm confidence. And these affirmations, no one saw them. Like, I didn't show anyone. I didn't tell any of my teammates about it. My coaches didn't know. It was just this private thing that I was doing. And, I've said to Jeff many times afterwards, like, it made the difference for me. I got selected, and I played pretty consistently from that point on. So I now try and incorporate it in some of my coaching, a bit of mentoring stuff that I do with younger athletes or hockey players. It's just working on that. It's like how you feel about yourself, what you say to yourself. That's where I think, especially for females, you can make like a tangible difference in how someone performs, rather than spending hours and hours and hours training something.